What's good, YouTube? It seems our friends at Intrepid are looking for some feedback on class resources, class resource management, and how they pertain to active bloc. Well, let's get to it. One of their options, and the easier one by far, is to just keep the one resource bar and just rename it and recolor it thematically. Like I said, that's the easiest way to go about it, and then they can keep moving forward with whatever they were intending. However, I'm in favor of another option, and that option is to just give every class both resources, mana and stamina. And if that's the baseline, then that just gives you both resources to work with within the main archetypes, and when they've been augmented, it's really that simple. Moving forward throughout the rest of the video, we'll just assume that we're talking about the second option with both resources, just to keep it clear, and that way I don't have to bounce back and forth. The reason why both resources works well, or at least in my opinion, is we'll go to the magic class first. Of course, magic uses a lot of magic, but they still need to dash or roll or block. They would use stamina for that. And because they're magic users, there wouldn't be a lot of stamina regens, reduction of cost for stamina, etc., etc. So they naturally would just have less stamina. They would have less block efficiency. I'm talking about base archetypes. We don't know how the augment system is going to work yet. But that would essentially balance them out. They would probably have a less roll, or one or two less rolls or something like that, depending on how stamina works. And they would be able to block some damage, but probably not like a heavy shot or a skill shot. Then the amount of damage it would protect them from might not be that great either, which means that would give Intrepid opportunities to bake defenses into their magic. Now, moving on to the stamina users going forward, I'll also just kind of use the tank as an example, since that's the most recent archetype that we've seen. So we'll start with this first ability, Shield Assault. I honestly don't think that would be a stamina type skill. That should be a builder of sorts. It would have to have something like stamina regen on it to help you get through the rest of your rotation and still maintain some blocking and things like that. Then Incessive Strikes, it would just spend stamina. Tremoring Bellow would just spend stamina. Now coming to Grit, it really depends. You could have it cost a little bit of stamina to get into it, but nothing to come out of it. But honestly, I would leave Grit alone, because it's already a part of its own builder spender with Courage. But this is where I kind of go left a little bit. I honestly would consider Aegis a magic ability. So the tank would use a little bit of its magic pool to use Aegis, and possibly any other abilities that are magically putting shields or magically transferring health, etc., etc. And again, just like the magic user, you wouldn't have a bunch of magic nodes to reduce the cost of those abilities, or to give you more mana regen built into yourself as a tank, so you wouldn't be able to spam those abilities. And then you would have to think about when and how you're using those abilities and how to manage them properly. You would still block, roll, dash, but because you have a lot of those reduction of costs for stamina regen, ways to refund stamina will more than likely be on your gear. You'll be able to use those abilities pretty regularly, pretty consistently, and still be able to block. It'll take some management, but it wouldn't. And then that also opens up perfect blocks and parries and other kind of defensive maneuvers that the player can hit that does assortments of different things. By including a resource in general, but definitely by including both resources, your possibilities are endless. So, what do you all think? That's my opinion about the resources and the active block. That's based off of just a little bit of experience with various different games. Again, they've come a long way since Alpha 1, and I'm really looking forward to see what else they have to show us, since they said we're going to see a lot this year. Maybe later this year we can get that Alpha 2 date that everybody's just pining for, desperate for. But anyway, do the thing, hit the like button, hit the sub button, hit the bell. Thank you all for spending time with me, listening to my opinions, and watching my videos. Y'all take it easy.